Hello and welcome to this round ball wrap-up. We'll be covering the Oakland University Golden Grizzlies versus the Valparaiso Crusaders. My name is Adam the Jock Strozinski. In this game, Oakland ended up dominating Valparaiso to an 82-71 victory in this Horizon League tilt. This game was started off a little bit slow. Both teams were kind of trying to feel each other out. They were kind of poking around, prodding. There was a lot of missed layups early, a lot of defensive rebounds for both teams going back and forth. But once both teams kind of got into the groove of things, got into a flow, they started to exchange baskets quite rapidly, and eventually Oakland ended up just overtaking Valparaiso. A lot of that was due to their bench help, and that came in the form of Nick Daniels, who ended up going 4 for 6 from three-point land. When the offense seemed to stagnate a little bit, he hit a couple big three-pointers that really opened everything up and kind of got everybody going again. Martez Walker also facilitated on the offensive side of the ball, scoring 23 points. He was the dominant force for them offensively. Martez Walker also got into a little bit of a scuffle in the second half, right around the 14-14 mark of that second half. Trayvon Walker was driving to the basket for Valparaiso, ended up slipping, falling, and took a nasty bump as he went down to the ground. As he went down, Martez Walker was overshifting with a defensive overshift and ended up standing over Trayvon Walker. At that time, Walker ended up kicking Martez Walker in the groin. Fouls were assessed to both players. The refs reviewed the situation. After reviewing, Trayvon Walker was ejected from the game. That resulted in a 5-point swing, and once that happened, Oakland really never looked back. They ended up sitting there and just taking a commanding lead of this game. In the first half, Oakland shot almost 42%, and then even better in the second half when they shot 46%. On top of that, three-point land, they were totally lights out. They ended up hitting 40% in both halves and 40% for the game. Oakland played outstanding throughout this game. Like I said, it was a little bit slow to start, but once they got going, they really picked everything up and dominated Valparaiso through most of this game. Valparaiso entered this game third in the nation in free throw percentage. That being said, they struggled at the stripe today, only hitting 58%. They went 7 of 12 from the line. On top of that, they turned the ball over at quite an erratic pace. Oakland did a great job on the defensive side of the ball. They sat there and were able to force 11 turnovers, 7 blocks, 4 steals, as well as out-rebounding Valparaiso 41-30. And that's really where the difference was in this game. Oakland beat them up on the glass, as well as being very efficient on the offensive side of the ball. Oakland, like I said, getting a lot of points off their bench. Most of those came in the form of Nick Daniels. He was absolutely money. He only played 22 minutes today, but it was in a very efficient 22 minutes. Really helped this team and really propelled them when they needed somebody to kind of take a rudderless ship and move it down the river there. Brad Bretchington ended up having a career high with 12 points. He played 14 minutes, one of his better games this season. Oakland, again, very efficient on the offensive side of the ball, as well as being very efficient on the defensive side of the ball. Right now, we're going to head out to the post-game presser, where we'll get to talk with Nick Daniels as well as Martez Walker. We'll try to find out what took place with that situation with Trayvon Walker, as well as we're going to get some insights from Greg Campy, who's a colorful, creative head coach. He's a good time, and he'll sit there and he'll just kind of spill the beans on what took place in this 82-71 Oakland University victory over Valparaiso.
Let me put my coat on. I paid a lot for it. Look at us. I even got one of these. Holy Christ, this isn't my coat. I think Valentine just got fired. Where's my coat, Drew? Man, I wanted to look good. What do you think, Nick?
I like
Still looking good. I like the shirt.
Oh, Dan Hipster.
Oh, y'all look, there you go right there.
Hey, here.
I got you, yeah, I mean, Valentine. I put it on, I look a lot better.
Yeah, nobody's recording.
That's a man's coat. I've never had a friend here.
Okay.
All right, Coach, you want to do a quick opening statement and we'll move on to the student athletes?
I think we got whatever it was we were talking about those couple weeks that we lost. I think we got it back. That swagger, that belief in ourselves. And we didn't shoot the ball well tonight, but we kept at it. We didn't go hide in the corner, and we can really guard. And when you can guard the way we can guard, if you believe in yourself and you can make big shots, you're going to win a lot of games. Nick Daniels is a guy that's been a big shot maker for us his whole career. And even though things didn't go very well for him early in the year, he stuck with it, and he changed the game for us tonight. He went in there fearless and buried, 3 out of 4 from the 3 and at key times. And that's just stick-to-itiveness and staying with it and believing in yourself. And that's what this team has to do. If you're going to, I go back to the old Piston Bad Boys days when they had to pass the Celtics. You had to have games like this. They had to. And that's where we're at. If we're going to catch and pass, our Celtics, we got to do things like we did tonight, make statement games. So we played them twice. We won by double digits both times. Will that have an effect on the third time if we meet a third time? I don't know. But we feel pretty good about ourselves right now, and we feel that we can compete and that we can fight and battle and scrap, and we're back to where we were when things went bad for us. So I feel real good about tonight.
Nick, a couple of weeks ago you told me, maybe about 6 or 7 games ago, you and I were talking, and you said, I'm trying to get my confidence back. Got your confidence back now.
Yeah, I just, throughout the week, just putting in extra work, before practice, after practice, in the morning, after 6 a.m. weights, I go into the gym with Coach Corn and get shots up, get tons of shots up. So, Coach Campy just told me stick with it, be positive, and be that leader. And that's what I'm doing, and it's just paying off for me.
Martez, how much fun was tonight? You guys are having fun again playing? Tonight seemed to be calming down.
It was a blessing to be out there. Crowd was sold out tonight, so like Coach said, we just got to get our swagger back and believe who we are.
Martez, do you take that as kind of a challenge to be out there on the floor with Alec Peters?
Oh, yeah, most definitely, all the time. Coach just put me always up to the challenge, and I try my best just to go out there and play hard every time I'm out there.
Nick, what about you and Brad Breckton right now? You guys are winners of 5 in a row. How much did you do?
Just us staying in the game, coming off the bench, staying in tune of what's going on the court. And when Coach called our number, we just play our role. That's what Coach tells us all the time, play our role. So me and Brad Breckton just played our roles tonight.
Did I miss
How big did the basket look tonight?
Say that again?
How big did the basket look tonight?
Big. Look real big.
Scott, did I miss something? He had a technical foul.
Give me a tip.
Says on here you got a technical foul.
Any questions?
What the hell are you doing, man?
Martez, what happened on that play, by the way?
sorry.
What happened on that play, by the way? Were you kicked?
Oh, yeah, most definitely. He just a little frustrated. It's the heat of the moment of the game, And like Coach said, we got on their skin by just...
Martez from Detroit, he's been worse, man. He's got a mark right here where there was a knife once, right?
Yeah.
So he's a tough kid. It's part of the game, man. It's Oakland Valpo. We hold nothing against Trayvon. He's a great kid.
He wanted to win, we wanted to win.
Right. That's all it is. That's nothing. Let's not make anything more of that. All right, guys. Thanks.
All right, Coach.
Anything?
Coach, Brad Breckton's not in the starting lineup anymore, but obviously, how important has this development been for you?
Well, big men turn it on quick. And Brad is just getting better and better. And Soroya from their team is night and day. When we saw him in January compared to where we saw him tonight, he's night and day difference too. So our teams are very similar. We both start 2 freshmen, a point guard and a center. Both teams start 2 freshmen. And the development of those players has really, really gotten better. And, with Brad playing like that, Isaiah is just such a defensive presence, and Brad is really becoming an offensive presence. He believes in himself. He's really confident, and he's really, really scoring the ball for us. Tonight, I think, is his career high probably. That just, it makes us a better basketball team. And when you got a 7-footer that can score in there, that's something that you don't see much in the Horizon League at our level. So, as Brad develops, that's going to make us just a better team. And we've got that two-headed, one defense, one offensive guy. So, and they're both young, we're freshmen and sophomores. So, yeah, I'm excited about our future because of those two guys.
Coach, I know this is and you call Valpo yourself. For you, believe this year's
The difference is we got to get there. We got to get there. Last year, everybody thought we were on course to have, an epic game in the championship. They were anticipating 10 to 12,000, at Joe Louis Arena, and we both fell in a trap. And so to sit there in college basketball in a conference tournament to think anything other than one game at a time is a grave mistake. I think one of the reasons we lost is we sat there and watched Valpo lose. And I think, oh my God, we're going to go to the NCAA tournament. And we forgot we had to win 2 games. And we did. So, if we get and play them again, we could still finish 4th now. So, there's a long way to go in this thing. They got to go to Detroit, Northern Kentucky, and Wright State. We got to go to Green Bay. We got a couple home games. We haven't been very good at home until tonight. And so anything can happen. We don't know where we're going to match up yet. When that week comes, we'll worry about that then. And if we get to play them again, I'm sure it'll be an epic game. But let's get there first. Let's not count it before we get there.
Just on that note, that everyone says 3 times as hard. Is there any value to that, or is that just something?
Well, if you're going to win a championship, you're going to have to beat a couple teams 3 times, right? And there may be 3 teams we have to do that to in the tournament. There may only be 1. I don't know. Well, we just got to take them one at a time. I don't believe in that lore, personally. I don't. I think fans believe in it, and it's hope and things like that. I would like to know what the stats are on it. Usually the better team wins. So whoever's playing well and whoever can handle the pressure of your season's over if you lose is probably the team that's going to win.
Coach, how underrated was Sharon Dorsey Walker's defensive effort against Peters? He ended up getting his numbers, but it took him a minute to get on track. Sharon was frustrating him a bit today.
Well, that kid's going to get his because he's so good. It's 9 of 18. He got 22 points on 18 shots. That's what we have to do. And the thing that we did to him that nobody else has done is, well, I don't know if anybody else has done it, but we kept him off the free throw line. We kept him off the free throw line. And he hasn't missed 2 free throws in a game in 4 years probably. And he missed 2 tonight. Who knows why? Maybe he's tired. But he only got 4 free throws. And I think he averages like 8 or 9 a game. And so to keep him at 4 and to make him get 18 shots, you just got to pat Sharon on the back, but you also got to pat Jalen and everybody else because we switched and did some stuff. Sharon had the initial contact on him, but we did a lot of goofy stuff with him to try and wear him out.
On the glass, Coach, you told us like November that tonight it really seemed like underrated wise you blocking people out, and they're a big team.
Well, they had 3 offensive rebounds in each half. 2 of them were team rebounds, where ball gets knocked out of bounds and it's theirs, so they can't score that one back. And we feel that's the difference in the game. I think our ball screen defense, and I think that we had 7 or 8 blocks in protecting the rim. I think that and the offensive, or not allowing them to offensive rebound. Peters is a great offensive rebounder. He had none tonight. And again, I would say if you go through that young man's storied career and look how many times he only shot 4 free throws and how many times he had no offensive rebounds, you're not going to find many games. So you've got to really credit our players for that, because it was the key to the game was the rebounding. And in the game at their place, I think we had a double-digit rebound lead on them there too.
Coach, sticking with the defensive side of the ball, did you see
Well, I think we had some lapses in the second half where we let them get to the rim. They're a really good team, obviously. And when you make a lapse, they're going to they're going to take advantage of it. And what they do is cross and drive and seal. They really try and get their bodies on people and use their big bodies and then go around you. And we had a couple, when Bugs went in the game in the second half, 3 straight times he got driven. And that's why I took him out and was mad at him. And, you got to stay in front of the ball. And when you play them, you can't let them get those angles. Trayvon Walker is a tremendous driver. And you can't give him an angle. You can't give Bradford. You can't give those guys angles. And when we relaxed and they got them, they made their little run.
Coach, all the talk, and obviously the NBA scouts here to see Alec Peters, but you got a pretty good player in your own right, Martez Walker.
I got a lot of good players. Martez is going to make a name for himself. This team's a collective team, though. Obviously, when Martez scores 20 or more, we never lose. What's the stat? 12-0 or something like that.
10-1 when he's leading.
Oh, we did lose a game as the leading scorer, but I think when he scores 20 or more points, I don't think we've lost a game. Obviously, that helps us. But you can't. This team's about defense, rebounding, and then being opportunistic on offense and taking what they give us. And if it's Jalen, if it's Sharon, if it's Martez, whoever it is, that night they've got to do it.
Maybe how the team responded when you guys made that run, you knew they were going to make or close this down, but we got to hold on to this
Right. Basketball is a game of runs, and they're a great team. So I'm not going to panic and call timeout, and we're going to need those timeouts later. It'll correct itself. Plus, there's a media timeout coming in a minute anyways. It was a matter of Jalen making a shot, and as soon as we made a shot. And the reality of it is they made that run because of us. We ran an alley-oop play to start the second half that was wide open and would have brought everybody out of their seats because Isaiah would have caught it with his nose above the rim and dunked. And Sharon threw it almost into the stands. He panicked and threw it. That's one of the areas that we miss Stevie with. Is Stevie's a great alley-oop thrower, and since he's been out, we don't see it much anymore. So we ran it and we threw it away. Then we come down in transition, and Jalen's got the ball, and here comes Isaiah for a dunk again, and he throws it through his chest instead of up in the air where he can catch it. Nice and soft catch and dunk. He throws a bullet at him. So we would have scored 4 points. Instead, we turn it over. They score 6 or 8 in a row and get it tied. And then once Jalen made the shot, then we got it right back up to 8. I don't think it was. I think it was tied and right back up to 6 or 8, and then it was double digits.
Coach, ever since the Summit League day, how would you rate this up?
Well, we're undefeated. So I think from that standpoint, it's good. I like that we've got our mojo back, taking that from Austin Powers. Was that movie? We got that mojo, our mojo back. I like that. So February's been very, very good so far. We got a few more. Somebody said our Februarys were in the top 5 or 6 in the country in the last decade in wins in February, and that's what you hope for your team. I've always believed you win in February so you can win in March, but our Marches the last couple of years haven't been that good, so I'm more interested in March right now than I am, Let's get these one at a time. Let's take care of business. We got Chicago Sunday, Youngstown to end the home schedule. Let's take care of business. And then we'll worry about that. But I think we're undefeated, so it's a pretty good record right now.
Coach, this game up a little bit, being your 1,000th, being Valpo, you guys inching a little bit closer to taking possession.
It had tremendous meaning because of the second and third thing. It had 0 meaning that it was 1,000. It had tremendous meaning for that it's Valpo. The rivalry with Valpo is important. So that was great. And then, we're game out. We're game out with 4 to go. Is that what we got left for?
Yes.
We're game out with 4 to go. 2 at home, 2 on the road. They've got 3 on the road. Very important game. And when I told our team before we came out too, our fans deserve this game. We've played great on the road and so-so at home, and the last time this place was hopping and ESPN was here, Detroit game all-time record in that, we didn't play. And our fans deserve this. They deserve to stand at the end of the game and beat their chest when they walk out, and so I think that was important too, because I want them to come back. And if we lost another one like that, it might not come back. All right. Anything else? Thank you.
All right, well, you heard it there from Coach Greg Campy, probably one of the best basketball minds in this area. On top of that, he's a great guy. Oakland now improves to 20-7 on the season. They are 10-4 in the Horizon League. They are 1 game behind Valparaiso, who's in first place at 11-3 in the Horizon League. Oakland's going to wrap up their season. They've got 4 games left. You heard Coach talking about it in the post-game presser there. They've got 2 at home, 2 on the road. Their next game will be Sunday. They're hosting UIC. That game gets underway at 3 p.m. After that, it's Youngstown State. Then they're going to travel to Green Bay, and they'll wrap up their regular season at Milwaukee on February 26th. After that, gets ready for the Horizon League tournament. That'll be taking place at Joe Louis Arena, so get your tickets. Oakland ends up going on to roll 82-71.